Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Pillar to Post. This is Renegade TV, a little special edition. Sadly, we are not joined with Penny or Omar Wolf. Tonight, it's just me. And we're going to be discussing what's going down this weekend in the world of the RWO. That is Renegade Wrestling Organization. It's about time you all entered the wasteland. Now, for the entire month, we've been building up to this event, and it has exploded into something we have never done before. 3-day event, folks. Yes, it'll start today. It'll start today at around 6 p.m. And you are looking at some of the best DWS superstars here in RWO, and I'm talking about the Digital Wrestling Syndicate. That is the acronym we use, Digital Wrestling Syndicate, DWS. Now, let's jump into it, folks, because it is going to be a hell of a show. Like I said, 3-day event, 21 matches in total. Almost every single superstar will be live this weekend on RWO. That goes for new recruits all the way up to the veterans, if you can call them veterans after a couple of months. But day one, we're starting to show off with the No Limit Championship title match. And what in a turn of events this past week, we had a 6-man elimination chamber. Max Radness defending his No Limit title once again. And surprise, surprise, Gold Dynasty's Randall Riot takes the gold home. What an amazing match it was. High impact, high velocity. We seen Junior McCoy putting Ken Caliban through a pod. I gotta wonder what sort of injuries that inflicted upon Ken Caliban. He just returned to action and already getting stuffed in a major match like the No Limit title match. But Max Radness cashing in his rematch clause, and today he will face Randall Riot, Gold Dynasty's youngest member, in a TLC match. Can Max Radness do it again? Can he become a 2-time No Limit champion? We're going to find that out later on today. And then, the Dogs of War Championship will no longer be held in a tag team match. In recent events, Mark Mayhem revealed to the entire Wasteland and locker room that he is not the brother of one Connor Harris. And due to Connor Harris's impatience and impertinence, he has, split ways, cut ties, and dumped Connor Harris's egotistical ass to the curb. So he's going into the show of shows as a single wrestler defending the Dogs of War tag titles against the Angry Assholes in a handicap match. That's right, Mean Joey Green and Drago Doom will face Mark Mayhem in a handicap 2-on-1 match. If Mark Mayhem can somehow pull it off, he will continue to be the Dog of War champion until he finds a new partner. But you've got to believe the odds are worked and stacked against him, as the Angry Assholes are two giants in that ring. Mean Joey Green and Drago Doom attacking Connor Harris and Mark Mayhem and stealing their Dogs of War titles. Now, they've got to put it back on the line and see if Mark Mayhem stacks up to the Angry Assholes. So violence no longer. He is just strictly Mayhem. Mark Mayhem. And then we're going to move on. It's the Scourge of the Wasteland title. Yes, this is your basic hardcore title. It is defended as often as possible. Currently, Yolanda Bendamiova is your Scourge of the Wasteland. Nobody until last night stepped forward to challenge this woman for her title. Surprise, surprise, former Empress of the Wasteland and returning Amazon, Amethyst Rain, stepped up. And now, at the show of shows, she will take on the most devious, nastiest, smelly bitch you have ever encountered in Yolanda Bendamiova. Should be an excellent match. Both women very competent in their skills. And Yolanda, well, one of the nastiest players in the game, folks. Then we're going to move on. It is the Iron Warrior Championship match. 20-minute Iron Man match. Junior McCoy stepping up to Tarvell Johnson. Yes, the authentic one. Taking on Junior McCoy, defending his Iron Warrior title. Tarvell Johnson has done it all since debuting. The kid looks great. He's got a chip on his shoulder and a lot of hate for his old man. But he has been a fighting champion, and tonight he will take on Junior McCoy in what could be perhaps his hardest fought battle yet. Junior McCoy still trying to find that glory and step out of his father's shoes. Let's see if he can get it done tonight. And then we're going to move on to the Amazon Tag Team Championship match. Yes, the debut of the Amazon Tag titles going down later tonight. It will be an elimination tag match. Carmella Springheel and Rebel Outlaw recently joined forces. They'll be taking on a team, well, of the Oblivion crew. Trinity Nightwalker and Angelita Utaker. They will be going up, and let's see which one of these teams walk away with the gold. Now, I've got to say, when it comes to working together, the Springheel family and the Outlaw family have long ties, while Trinity and Angelita, well, family is close, but they are not Carmella Springheel and Rebel Outlaw. Yes, you know them very well. The descendants of MAD and the Barons, the Wasted Rejects. So, I'm going to be cashing in my bet with Carmella Springheel and Rebel Outlaw to walk away as the Amazon Tag Champions. But you don't want to count out Oblivion. They might have something up their sleeves. Who knows? We're going to move on. This is a much anticipated match. A knockout revenge match. Yes, once again, Ken Caliban will be facing the man that put him on the shelf for, over a month. Yes, Ken Caliban suffered lower back injuries at the hands of the Steel City henchman known as Oz. And tonight, he gets his revenge. Or will he? That knockout revenge match gonna be a hell of a slobber knocker. You gotta believe Ken Caliban is gonna be bringing the fury and the rage and a whole lot of fight behind him. He wants that revenge on Oz so he can get up to that next guy that Mr. Blaze McCoy has placed in his way. And then for night one, main event, the Queen of the Amazons will be defending her title in a 30-minute Iron Woman match. Yes, that's right. Mystic Pain, our Queen of Amazon Nation, will be taking on her challenger, Cattleya Orchid. Cattleya Orchid stepped up, and let's see if her mouth can indeed cash the checks it's writing. Because Cattleya, Mystic Pain put the last Queen to shame at this event. Let's see if you can do better than what Angelita Utaker did. Angelita Utaker was suffered a major concussion at the hands of Mystic Pain. A brutal match. A woman that did not want to stop putting the punishment on the Queen, and now her rule is being challenged. Can she maintain her throne, or will Cattleya Orchid take the throne from her? That is it for night number 1. That goes down tonight. You want to be ready, folks? It's going to be a hell of a show, like I just read it off to you, man. A whole lot of action in our first night. But night 2, we're giving a little bit of opportunity away. So we open up night 2, which will be Sunday, in a no-limit number 1 contendership ladder match. Randy J. Machete, William Cho, Johnny Cho, Kid Chaos, Leleno Piedra, Alexander Blade, Richie Vaughn Jr., and Da Pimp will all be contesting for that number 1 contendership for the No Limit title. Which one of these has the upper hand? Well, it's an 8-man ladder match. Not a damn one of them has a chance. They're going to have to take that chance and make it what they will. Now, we have Johnny Cho, the very first No Limit champion in this match. He does maybe have an advantage because he's been in this match before. But then, you've got Randy J. Machete, William Cho, Kid Chaos, Leleno Piedra, Alexander Blade, Richie Vaughn Jr., and Da Pimp. And Da Pimp has surprised many already. So, the deck is stacked. Who's going to walk out the number 1 contender for the No Limit title? And then we're going to move on to another number 1 contendership. It is for the Dogs of War Championship number 1 contendership match. Now, recently, the Bastard kicked Seth Hardwick to the curb. Says he found a better, nastier partner. A man known as Orion Rain. That's right, the Glorious Bastards still live. The Bastard teaming up with Orion Rain will be taking on the Crucible, who just recently defeated the Black Hand as well as Merrick in a 6-man tag. You gotta believe that's biting at Omar Wolf a little bit, who is the alpha within the pack. And, well, basically kind of gives directions to the Black Hand. The Crucible, John Cross and Caleb Cross, have recently just been on their winning way once again. They went on a significant losing streak at the debut of 2K19. So now with a little bit of momentum backing them up, let's see if they can take out the Bastard and Orion Rain, known as the Glorious Bastards. Whoever wins that handicap match, if it's Mark Mayhem or the Angry Assholes, they're going to have to be watching out for either one of these teams, because the Bastard has already shown what he can do in this ring, and Orion Rain had a fantastic debut match. We move on to a 6-woman tag match. Not a title match. We don't have the 6 tag titles. No, it is the Black Hearts, Ivy Pine, Roxanne Winters, and Victoria Hart, known as the Black Hearts. Yes, recent acquisitions on a little bit of a trade here with Slaughterhouse Wrestling. They'll be facing Bloody Valentine, and that will be Valentine, Violet, and Sapphire. Let's see how this unfolds. The Blackhearts already very dominant since their debut. Let's see if they can do it again in another 6-woman tag match. And then we move on to a very anticipated match, for me anyway, because I love the looks of both of these teams' chances. The Alpha and Omega #1 contendership match. It will go down between Viral Injection, that is Cyrus the Virus Sullivan, Oddball the Clown, a very unique pairing here. They'll be taking on pack members Vakho and Merrick. So, who will go on to face possibly the Black Hand or Havoc after the second night here at the Show of Shows? And then we move on. It is the Queen of the Wasteland #1 contendership battle royal. 8 women: Andromeda, Angelica Malice, Jenna Rage, Mary Mambo, Cheyenne, Lara Cho, Turquoise Rain, and Phoenix Taylor all have the opportunity to become the next in line to face the Queen of the Wasteland. Who's it going to be? Are they even going to be able to measure up? We're going to find out on Sunday night. And then we move into a highly anticipated match. Alpha and Omega Championships on the line. It is Havoc winning the right to face the Black Hand, your Alpha and Omega. Now, Havoc, the team of Mark Caliber and Joshua Clark, won the right to face the Black Hand, the Alpha and Omega tag titles, or champions, I should state. That is Jeff Haight and Giroff, also members of the Pack. So, highly anticipated match. Mark Caliber and Joshua Clark, they've been in hiding, however, have not stepped up at all, have not cut a promo, have not done anything. They have been in seclusion and staying away from any kind of television set, any kind of media, any kind of press. I don't know what this means, if this is a tactic on their part or not, but the Black Hand has already stated nobody is taking those titles away from them, because they are the true Alpha and Omega champions. Well, you gotta believe that they've got to be a little bit worried, because the Crucible just showed how weak they can be. They found the chink in the armor, the crack in their hearts, and recently destroyed them in a 6-man tag. So you know that the Black Hand does have a weakness. Can Havoc exploit that? Can Mark Caliber and Joshua Clark survive the Black Hand? And then night 2's main event, it will be a Ruler of the Wasteland title match. Cage, 2 out of 3 falls. Now, we recently had a bit of a tournament. Two great matches. And the participants were those of the Wasteland's choosing. Surprise, surprise, when it came down to Clown versus Clown. Yes, Pogo the Clown versus Oddball the Clown for the number 1 contendership for the Ruler of the Wasteland title. Pogo the Clown would walk away with that right. And on Sunday night, he faces the Ruler of the Wasteland, Fatu Garin. That is going to be an explosive match. And let's see if Fatu Garin will continue to rule over his dominion. But that is only night 2. We move on to night 3. Yes, 3-night event for the show of shows. And we're going to start off big. We're going to start off with the Emperor of the Wasteland title on the line. It is Ragnar Warsun, who is your Emperor of the Wasteland. And he was challenged by the Prince of Neon City and brother of the Ruler of the Wasteland. He is Drake Garin. Now, Drake Garin, not many are sure about this man's character, his ego, or his, I don't know, that ill feeling that you get when you're around this guy. You're just looking for that knife that's going to get you in the back, you know? So Drake Garin has a huge opportunity against Oblivion's very own Emperor of the Wasteland, Ragnar Warsun. Ragnar Warsun is a tough man. A tough ruler. He has ruled over his dominion in the Wasteland, but we haven't seen him in quite some time. Is the Emperor afraid? Will we see a shaken, a fearful Emperor at the show of shows? That is our opening match on day 3. That is Monday night. Then we move on to the 4 Horsemen of Apocalypse number 1 contendership match. And we have thrown 8 men together. Yes, it is 8-man tag elimination. We have thrown 2 teams together. Unlikely combinations here. And let's see if it sticks to the wall. Ladies and gentlemen, the first team will consist of Tyler Graft, Abyss, Quentin Gathright, who recently just debuted, and Demon. They'll be taking on the likes of the Midnight Hobo, Randolph Wolfhammer, the Shigorganese warrior Dak Mandu, and Torment O'Connelly. Two big teams, two teams filled with monsters. It is going to be epic. And the winners of this match will face either Oblivion or the Gold Dynasty at our next pay-per-view. Should be a hell of a match going down on Monday night. Then we're going to move on. Yes, Piper Koloff recently debuted probably about 2 days ago. A big man, and he fell at the hands of one Quentin Gathright. But somebody has taken exception to this giant pirate stepping into the wasteland, and that was the executioner known as Leviathan. He has challenged Piper Koloff to a Hell in a Cell match. These two monsters will meet in the cell. Who's going to walk away and who will be destroyed? Then we move on to two unknowns. Amber Tiffany versus Angel. No stipulations, straight up wrestling match. Amber Tiffany and Angel have not been heard of or seen very often on RWO television. So they get their opportunity on Monday night at the show of shows. Are they going to give us something, or are we just going to walk away in disappointment? And then a cage match between the cast-off Seth Hardwick, a former Glorious Bastard. He's coming in pissed off, but he'll be taking on a very ornery Viking, Mason Crowler. That will go down inside a cage match. The first man to escape will be the winner and move on. Let's see how they're going to move on and what they'll move on to. And then, to me, very anticipated match because the people involved, well, I know them all very well. The Four Horsemen of Apocalypse Championship 8-man tag elimination goes down Monday night. It is Oblivion. Now, Oblivion will be led down to ringside by none other than Phoenix Nightwalker and Paul Utaker, the only men that have stepped up and carried the load for Oblivion. And they'll be joined by Aiden Nightwalker and the Fallen, a recent debut and a recent discovery here in RWO and the Wasteland. Can they do what everybody else is afraid to do, and that is to take on the Gold Dynasty, Arkin Wall, J.D. Bagwell, Randall Riot, and Ulrich Vencroft? They are your Four Horsemen of Apocalypse champions. Seen some success, seen some rough times, but when it comes to the Four Horsemen of Apocalypse titles, these men mean business. Now, recently we've seen a little bit of a prank, you might say, by the Pack. They shaved the dreadlocks of Arkin Wall off, and we also seen the torture at the hands of one Phoenix Nightwalker upon J.D. Bagwell. Has his scars healed enough? Can he withstand the pain that Oblivion will definitely be bringing their way? Big match, should be an awesome encounter. Let's see how it's going to turn out for the Gold Dynasty. And then our main event for night 3, the Empress of the Wasteland. Never before have we had two empresses reign over the Amazon nation. So, it was decided that this match would be held under the rules of the tag team elimination match. Now, how this is going to work. The woman that makes the final pinfall will walk away as your Empress of the Wasteland. So if Rika and Laika can somehow take out Emily Ray or Erin Lynn first, go on and say Laika pins Erin Lynn, well then Laika would be your Empress of the Wasteland, vice versa. Or if Emily Ray and Erin Lynn conquer the Blood Moon Sisters, The woman that makes the final pinfall will be your Empress of the Wasteland. After the third night, Monday night, there will no longer be dual Empresses. It will only be one woman. So it will be the Blood Moon Sisters, Roika and Laika, members of the Pack and the Black Hand, versus the Deadly Nightshades and your Empresses of the Wasteland, Emily Ray and Erin Lynn. Who and which of these four women will be your Empress of the Wasteland? Folks, that is the show of shows. The biggest card we have ever put forward to date. 21 matches, almost 100 members of the RWO roster putting their lives and their welfare on the line for you, wrestling fans. Well, at least the digital wrestling fans. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a great night. I hope you're all going to be able to join me. And you never know what to expect at an RWO show. Will we see Phoenix Nightwalker cash in his Rise or Fall briefcase? That could happen. That could very well happen on night 2 when the ruler of the Wasteland faces Pogo the Clown. Is it a possibility? Yes, it is. Or if Ragnar happens to lose to Drake Guerin, could he cash it in and take out Drake Guerin to keep the Emperor of the Wasteland title in oblivion? Conundrum, is it not? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for joining me. Let me run down the match cards for you. What to expect at the show of shows. We've had 2 great events recently. Soul Sacrifice. Now we're gearing up for our second show of shows. 21 matches. Wow. And 3 days of nothing but the Wasteland. I want to thank you, like I had said earlier, for joining me. I want to thank you for attending the show of shows that will begin later on tonight, approximately 6 p.m. Eastern Time. It's going to be a hell of a night. It's going to be a hell of a 3-night fight fest. I'm Pete Wall, also known as the Angry Viking, and I'll be joined later on during the week with Penny Knight as well as Ulmar Wolf, and we're going to discuss everything that went down at the show of shows. And we might also have some murmurings of a madman with none other than Griffith Davian. Now, we also have some tips from Judgment. So, get ready for it, folks. The show of shows begins later on tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern. Get ready. Strap one on, because it's going to be a ride. I am out of here.